Welcome to the top five. Let's see who all is here. Jumping in. I think I got the volume down on my iPad here. There we go. No rookie mistake tonight. I've already got 4 people in here, and I'm kind of jumping on some toes with, I know JD's doing an unboxing, and I'm going to have a partner joining me here in just a second. Ryan is running a little late. He's doing some things, and I said it's fine because I knew that Thanatos would come by in the chat right at the beginning here because I have an unboxing to do, and I'll do that in just a second. So for those of you that are watching the replay or joining us right now, I'm going to just run through the rules of said game. And I'll do it again probably a little bit when Ryan gets here. The idea is I wanted to do a show, and I've been talking to Ryan and Matt even and a few others about an idea of a top 5. This was not a debate kind of show like the debate that JD and Thanatos did, which was a lot of fun. I wanted to do something that was just a preference list, my favorites and somebody else's favorites, and have a discussion about them, hear it from the chat. But these are going to be things that there's no real debate on. These are my favorites, and I can be crazy that this is my favorite, but there's no real discussion to be had as far as convincing me otherwise. So each time I do one of these, and it's not going to be every week, it'll just be every so often, I will basically get a partner, hopefully Ryan, and maybe another person to join me, and we will have a topic. Tonight, it's top villains across all of comics. So Ryan and I each have an independent comic book villain, as well as some DC and Marvel villains. He's more of a DC guy, so I'm assuming his list will probably be a little more DC heavy. I'm usually more of a Marvel guy, so my list is a little bit more Marvel heavy. But the top villains is going to be our topic for tonight. This is not strongest villains. This is not villain who will, hold the Infinity Gauntlet or anything like that. It's just going to be our preference. These are going to be the villains that when I go to the comic book shop, if I see him or her on the cover, I might be more than likely buying that book just because I like that character. And when I see them in a comic, it's compelling to me, or at least entertaining to me. At the end of this episode, too, we try to do a quick little top 5 that is non-comic book related. So stick around to the end, and we'll run through a quick top 5 that isn't comic book related, like our top 5 villains. I also wanted to quickly comment that this top 5 list, it's not going to be the kind of thing where each time we do this, it has to be just 2 people. We'll have 3 different people at some points. We'll have others. But my top 5 is going to definitely be a preference kind of a thing. It's going to be favorites. It's not necessarily going to be who is the most powerful or anything like that. Let me check in on the chat here. There was a whole bunch of people. Now we got 15. Holy cow. Comics NYC and Wingnut, of course, were right there at the beginning. Big Will arrived right at the beginning as well. Comic Head. I saw you in there, Mr. Garrell, Bake the Snake, Tim Mayer, Brenton's in here, TJ Watson, of course. Good to see you, TJ. I like that we're starting to turn your name into a verb. And you can chat with Comic Books NYC because you guys have been TJ Watsoning the comic book community like crazy. C. Woodard is in here. Hey, good to see you, C. Woodard. How you doing, man? Tim Mayer, I think I said your name. White Whale, good to see you, Alec. Alec and I have moved our show to Thursday night this week, so be sure to check out on my channel on Thursday when we do Middle West 2. We've moved our night. Make sure you're aware of that. I'm sorry if I have not said it enough. Brett Hess is in here. Let's see, who else do I have? Carlito is in here. Count Von Strange the Fourth. Firstly, love the name. How's it going, dude? Kachung is in here. And my moderator, Sam's Tangled Web. Good to see you, sir. Since you're doing the job for most everybody, by taking over. And let me jump and make sure that Matt is coming over. So Matt sent a gift to my girls and I as sort of Christmas thing. And I want to make sure that he's on. He wanted to watch the opening of it. It's not a permanent move, Big Will. We are just doing it this 1 week because I have a Christmas party to go through, a work thing tomorrow night, and I can't get out of it. So it's got to be that we move it over to a different night. Hello, girls.
We heard our names. So now we're here.
I'm just double checking that Matt can jump in. I don't want to open this up without Thanatos. So look, the girls, everybody's in here checking it out. Good to see everybody. Ooh, and Kachung is now saying good day. And now that I know you're Australian, I know that I can put that in an actual accent and hear it. Whitewell saying hi. Everybody's saying
who's
hi.
Australian?
Kachung.
Oh, don't they in Australia call Santa
Father Christmas?
Father Claus?
Ooh, that's a good
Who's
question.
Santa?
Kachung, do they have a different name in
It's
Australia?
Father something, right?
Do they have a different name for Santa Claus in Australia?
It's Father.
Wingnut says hi. John, let the real hosts start talking. Yeah, sorry. Good Lord. JD is saying hello. Big Will saying hello. Father Christmas is what he says. She's like, I knew it. I was so right on.
And we have something called the 6 White Boomers.
The 6 white. I can't understand you. 6 white
Boomers.
boomer.
The kangaroos.
Jason P says hi to the girls. Mr. Garrell says, finally.
Boomers, Snow White
Used to call him Father Diffus. Kate and Charlie are the best, says Bueller. I'm going to like it, this video, just because Bueller said that. Good to see you, Bueller. How you doing? He's got a video, I want to say, coming up. Or was it just last night Bueller did something with JD, I want to say.
No, it's not.
Something recently with JD. Okay, so don't knock over my list there. I don't want to give it away. These are my top 5 picks. I also have a book for each one. So as Ryan and I share our favorite villains, I can show you a book that goes with each one. I will say one of these guys did not have a really good cover appearance for that person. So I know Ryan is doing the same thing. He's at Tom's right now, digging through, trying to find a good first appearance a good cover appearance for a certain villain. I'm not going to give away the answer to my villains. Kate already knows the answer, but she's not a good secret keeper. She's got to watch out.
Point out which one.
That one. Sorry.
Okay, Kate.
Kate's thing is still in the works. Yes, Kate. So good question, Big Will. I'm glad I'm getting the chance to kind of run through all these things. And I'm sorry for you're watching on the replay. You can fast forward through some of this. Simon Comics, good to see you. Bueller's asking about Kate's giveaway. So Kate has been organizing with Charlie a big batch of comics, both that we snagged from my comic book shop recently and that she's got from her collection. She's donating some. And we're putting together little clusters of books to give to 6 to 10 families that watch the shows, that watch the girls and have made contact and said, hey, you know, I've got girls and they are boys and they've really liked your shows. So we're putting together little gift packages. It probably won't be a Christmas thing because I doubt we get them mailed so that they arrive by Christmas. It might be closer to New Year's at that point, by the time they arrive to the people. Matt is here, so we can do the opening. Good to see you, sir. Here's the box. I cut it in advance. And I forgot it's wrapped, so there will be some noises for the unwrapping. I'm sorry about that. But he definitely used the Gemini mailer well. Appreciate that. And I sent Ryan the invite, so hopefully when he jumps on, he just appears. It says Jameson family. What are you pointing to? Automatically help for you. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry about it. You don't need to be in charge of the chat, kids. Just relax. We got stuff to open here. All right. Santa Claus. I love Santa Claus on the unicorn.
That is adorable.
Right?
Yes. We're keeping that wrapping paper.
Kate's like, the wrapping paper. Hi, Kate, Charlie, and John. Merry Christmas from Matt Thanatos. He's all about the unicorns. We know that about Matt. But that's what comes from having daughters.
Whatever happens to the Olympians?
Oh, he's saying, thanks for giving us reasons to smile on Saturday mornings. One of these comics is for all 3 of you, and you can't read it until you're old enough. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and don't forget to be good to your parents. I like that last bit. That was Charlie saying that they already are, but we need to be good to them. All right. It was a zing. Charlie was right on it. I bet it's a comic. Unicorns are the best until you learn the true folklore. Uh-oh. All about comics. Spreading some drama. Oop.
I know, unicorns are a real big deal.
Oh, goodness. All right. You got a lot of chocolate in your mouth. I can smell it from here.
Advent calendar. We missed so many days.
I got you, John. Thanatos, get me some Green Lantern. He's always about it. In fact, I'm excited to see he's doing something with Matt. Who are you partnering with for that Green Lantern series? Is it Boy Who Had 7? I think Boy Who Had 7, and you are doing a Green Lantern series. I'm excited to see that because I keep trying to build my Green Lantern knowledge, so I'm looking forward to see that.
He says
best wrapping paper
ever seen.
All right, Charlie,
That's
are you
awesome.
almost ready? All right. There's 3 here. Ready for the first one? Let's hold it up to the camera, okay? The boy who had 7. Yeah, he said boy who had 7. Awesome. Let's all be good to each other, says Sam's Tangled Web. Uh-oh. Is somebody not being good to each other?
Okay,
No,
everyone.
because you said,
3,
remember?
2, 1.
You love that. Super good. That's a great cover. Oh, man. It's by who? Who is this one?
That's I.
It is Art Germ. She loves her Art Germ. That is a cool cover. Yeah, and hey, you just look at grabby hands there. Grabby hands. Figure I'd add to your Art Germ collection a bit, says Thanatos. And you know what? We don't have this one as far as that Supergirl run. I think we have only 3 or 4 of them. So this is perfect. It fits in with that run. And these girls, thanks to Comics NYC, they are super into Supergirl right now. Charlie even put all these trades on her Christmas list. All the ones that followed on the ones.
Oh, I put 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
I don't know how many there are. I know that there's a number 3. Okay, so
Dad, look, Bueller says, my best friend gave me a 3D printed unicorn. It's hidden in a bunch of my videos just for him.
we have to go back and look
And
for it. Don't
find
bump it.
them.
Don't bump it. We have to go back and look for the hidden unicorn in his series. Okay.
Small or big?
What does it say? Is it smaller? Oh, you're asking how big
Yes,
is it?
how big is it?
Okay, that's a
Small
good
or
question.
big?
That's a good question. I have some art by me of Deadpool riding a unicorn on a rainbow, shooting shooting at whoever looks at it. That's funny. Okay,
That is awesome.
you don't need to skip. We're not going to be here that long. Okay, because I got it. When when Ryan gets in here, we can move on. Okay, ready? Boom. Oh, we don't have that one either.
Oh,
Get you up. That's a great one. That whole run of covers, Art Germ just killed it. That is amazing.
She wearing a pants?
Yeah, she's taking her shirt and pants off because she's got her suit. I don't know how she wears that underneath, but she does.
It's probably uncomfortable.
Cape.
Yeah, the cape, it's going to be uncomfortable, right?
But
Like
Clark
stuffed into your
Kent.
shirt.
Yeah, that would
Or
be
I think you have a
uncomfortable.
really straight back or wrinkly back or something.
That one is my favorite, Matt says. This one right here. There's another one of these in this run where it's like a woman in a coffee shop and she's looking out the window and there's a pane of glass right in front of her. And reflected in the glass, you can see Supergirl flying. I thought that was a really unusual way to kind of do it.
It was
Really kind of a fun
cool.
design to that one as well.
And the sled.
Make this a good looking cover. Magic Cape. He says it's a magic cape. Art Germ killed it this year. I agree. And I was shocked that when I went through my favorite covers of the year, I did not have an Art Germ in there because there were so many good ones, but I just couldn't have one. Okay. All right. Last one. Are we ready, ladies? I think I got it.
It's
Okay, good.
slabbed.
Ready? No, it's not. It's in a, this is called a top loader.
Oh, looks like a
Yeah.
slab.
I have a few of these for my more valuable books because I don't want to damage them.
Oh.
So this was keeping things safe. Are we ready? Here we go. Big reveal.
1, 2, 3.
This is,
go.
I have a feeling this is the one that's
I'm in
for
this one.
mature readers, not for us.
1, 2, 3.
Dude, what? Girls, holy cow.
What?
That's the first appearance of X-23.
Ever?
Yes, the first of what? Matt, what? Dude, holy cow.
You don't just give this stuff for free, dude.
Yes, well spoken, Charlie. Holy cow, Matt. I've just been TJ Watson twice in 3 days. That is an insane. That is insane. Holy cow, dude. And they are, thanks to Big Will, also in the chat, the all-new Wolverine fans are big in this family. Well said, Charlie, says White Whale. Wingnuts, I agree. I'm saying the same thing. Thanks to TJ, he had a spare. So this is one of Matt's or TJ's. Oh my God, dude.
Big Will says, whoa, ah, and other noises. You've been Watson.
Dude, Matt. Holy cow, man. Holy cow. TJ's supposed to do this to us. We're not supposed to do this to each other. We have each other's backs, man. Charlie's already taking off with one of those Supergirls. Kate, take over for a second.
Huh?
Just talk for a second. Holy cow. Dude,
Are you okay?
I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. He kept TJ's because I guarantee you his is like a 10.0. Oh my God. Just say something nice.
Someone said, 2 people said Watsonized. So you've done.
The Watsonization of the nation. Good job, JD. And JD, I'm sorry if I jumped on your toes for your show. I didn't realize you were doing an unboxing. I'm sorry about that. So I just sort of Ryan and I came up with this idea this week, and sorry, my brain's not working.
Says, breathe in,
Yeah, I need to breathe.
meditate.
That's a seriously expensive book. That's
Wow.
that's legit. Ryan, did you see what I just opened?
What? Oh, you got the whole. Oh,
Dude, Matt just sent this to me.
ooh. You got the mail call already, but my brain was having to formulate how that worked.
No, I did not win the mail call like glory. But if I do, I may have to retire from comic books or something.
Quit while you're ahead, sort of thing.
So Ryan's here. Everybody say hi to Ryan in the chat. The fire guy is here, and he needs to talk because I need to catch my breath.
Uh-oh. Sorry I'm late, everyone. As you know,
Yeah.
if you've ever talked to me,
Did you get yourself a beer, Ryan? Did you get a beer?
come on.
Good.
I came prepared. If you've talked to me for more than like 5 minutes, you know that I work graveyard, and whenever I drive anywhere, there's nobody ever on the road. But today I had to drive to Tom's for this studio environment, and there's cars everywhere because it's 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, and so yeah, that's why I'm here late. But I scrounged around in these
Ryan is.
and I found covers to use, display material. I only have one comic out of the top 5 villains in comic books. I only own a cover appearance of one of them, which is
Hey, you did better than me. And in the end, actually, I had one really, really weak cover appearance where I just did not have a good cover for this character.
Mhm.
And the other, I had to use a trade.
Okay, so I don't feel so bad.
I made it work. I want to say right over Ryan's, I guess it's his left shoulder, is one of the only Green Lantern cover books that I've got. It's a Justice League, and he's holding Superman in chains.
I love that one. It's a good display piece.
Jim Lee. Yeah. So Ryan's here. I'm going to run through the explanation of the show again. If you've been if you just joined us or if you're watching the replay, Ryan helped me kind of congeal this idea together of how to do an activity that would be not necessarily just strictly comics, but would just be a great chance to have a good chat and not really that debate like what Matt and JD did. And you should definitely jump over to Matt's show and watch their episode of the debate because it was very entertaining. And the way the chat was voting for this person or voting for that person, really entertaining. This is not a me versus Ryan, right? Ryan's list and my list will naturally be different. We have different preferences in comics. He's really a great DC guy, and I've been using his knowledge in that area. And I'm more of a Marvel guy, so there'll definitely be some of that. But more, it's just a chance to have a dialogue.
What are the odds that we picked similar? What do you think the odds are that we picked the same person?
I will say the only competition element I almost came up with was that, like, if we had the same person on our list at any point, that we had to do a shot or something.
Okay, yeah, there's got to be something for the same because you have.
Yeah, if we have something identically on one another's list, we should have some kind of a torture or something.
Because I only have one Marvel guy.
And I only have one DC guy.
Okay.
But I'm willing to bet my DC guy is not on your list. But that's just neither here nor there. I don't want to give away too much.
It'll be fun.
You know what? Matt, I got to flip this over. I can't look. She's staring at me, and I can't. X23 is looking at me.
It's not someone you want staring at you either.
Yeah. So anyways, so Ryan helped me kind of congeal this idea, and the idea was that you really just share your favorites, and then at the end we'd have a set of top 5s that were not comic related. He and I are huge movie, TV guys, and so eventually we would like to do one where we even debate favorite movies, not necessarily comic related, breakdown. And we thought of a million ideas, and all of them we kept saying we probably need way more time to discuss them than one little segment at the end of an episode. But that's the general idea of this activity, is to share a fun list, have a little chat about it, and then see what you think as an audience. Do you have stuff that we missed? More than likely, you're going to make fun of our lists. That's just the nature of this. Is it's going to be a real back and forth about that. I will say I was impressed that both he and I could come up with a fun indie villain on both our lists.
One of my guys, I don't even want to get into it, but yes, I got one indie villain, and it's going to be, it might be a surprise for people that know me. think
Well,
it is-
and when I said villains, which is what I wanted to do off the start, because there's something great about a really good antagonist. I knew I had one indie villain from the get-go. This character has always been somebody that I've really enjoyed. Alex, gotta go. Sorry, buddy. I will catch you on Thursday night for the book club with Aaron, who will probably be sitting not very far from where Ryan is sitting now. Not sure where, but in another room, but nearby.
She's always watching.
But I will say, Alec, watch the replay because you will like my indie villain.
Okay.
So
then we don't have we probably don't have a matching indie villain. I want to guess. Is that your number 5?
This is my indie villain is my number 5.
We have to start there then, because that's how I ranked it too.
I spent time when I got home. I know a lot of people would have printed this kind of stuff out. I am the elementary school teacher who just got out the scissors, the tape, and the stickers and just went to town.
I wish I had stickers for this. I just stormed into Tom's house like 10 minutes ago. I was like, I need to find some comics. I got to scrounge
It's
around.
the benefit of having children is there are always stickers. Everything comes with stickers these days. And they're sadly all Marvel. I could not find any DC stickers. So I've got to get some DC sticker books. But I think the ones I skipped over early on when my girls were getting that kind of stuff, the female DC characters were horribly underrepresented. DC would always have Black Widow. They would always have Gamora, these kinds of things. DC, it was only till recently when they started having more ladies on board. So that was always important. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go first just because I'm the host, Ryan. So no debating on that. So here is
nice and easy.
Yeah. Here is my number 5. And you probably, as an audience, might not know who this is, but his name is The Adversary.
Yep.
And I am a huge, huge fan of this character and Fables. And this was the best representation I could find of him in my collection. And I'm going to say the best part about this character, for those that have read Fables, is that this character goes through several iterations, just like many great villains, whether you're looking at all the different movie versions of Lex Luthor, or you're looking at all the great comic variations of the Joker. The adversary starts as this sort of background character, very unusual. We never really see them. We don't know what we just see all their machinations out in the world, disturbing things for our heroes. And then finally we meet this sort of giant swordsman, this giant sort of mythical character who is very, very horrifying and definitely doing a lot of damage. And even that isn't the true horror of this character. And when the character is finally revealed as their true form, it is one of my favorite all-time reveals in a comic book. And I absolutely flip for this character. And the way they use them in Fables, it is iconic. So had to be, for me, The Adversary.
I guessed that from you. I was going to guess either from Fables or from 100 Bullets. But
yeah, the problem with 100 Bullets is everybody's a villain.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, who do you pick? How far into Fables does the adversary kind of get revealed? I've only read the first trade, and he's mentioned a couple times in like the history stuff.
Yeah, it's in the 40s where they finally start getting into his backstory. So they went several years before they really gave you the reality of what's going on. But you could have guessed, and really eagle-eyed readers knew early on. Okay, they're hinting at what this character could really be. Let's see, the chat is throwing out Highlander things. Let's see, I see Green Goblin. People talking about Green Goblin.
Are they trying to guess who my one Marvel villain is?
I don't know. There's a lot of fun chat going on about it. So you want to do one?
My independent character also happened to be ranked 5th out of 5 for me as well. But it's from a series that I am not shy about my distaste for. However, I think the Governor is pretty cool. Like, I don't know. He gets a pass for me. I'm not a fan of Walking Dead. However, the early Walking Dead is lights out, as some people say. And I think up till the Governor and the prison and the Woodbury storylines kind of all merged together and resolved explosively, I think that's where I fell off on Walking Dead. And I think there are people out there who agree with me, but the Governor was kind of the high point of that entire era, and I might even say the entire run. I haven't read much after the prison, but I'm not sure I've heard anything that tops that or gets to that level.
I would totally agree, because when I was reading Walking Dead, it was pre-show, and I had the first couple of trades, and I was just blown away by what they were doing. The whole fact of like the way they used the black and white and the imagery and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I started watching the show, for me the show and the comic peaked with that character. I have nothing against Negan. He's a great villain. He's very interesting. But I basically stopped watching at the Governor. Once that Governor storyline ended in the show, I was done. I felt like the show was going the wrong way for me, and I wasn't as interested in it. But for me, yes, that was definitely the high point.
Didn't they carry him along further in the show too than in the book?
Definitely.
Did he have a flashback episode or something that I heard about?
For sure. Looks like NYC is saying he stopped reading after Negan. So there's some people that are on the same online reign there. Ryan will lose his opinion on Wolverine alone is disturbing. So they're already getting on you for Wolverine. I will say that Ryan won me over on several astute comments story-wise about Wolverine, which is that Wolverine doesn't have a lot of really iconic stories, where he is the focus. I love the Frank Miller run. I think it's a really, really great miniseries run. Mm-hmm. But that's it. Like, where else is he really this great iconic character? Now, I love Old Man Logan, but I'd argue that it's not really a Wolverine story. It's a post-apocalyptic kind of story, and Wolverine as the character doesn't really unsheath his claws until a very dramatic moment late in the story. So it's really not a classic Wolverine. It's more of Unforgiven in the Marvel world.
I think he works best as a part of the team. Like on New Avengers, he's really good as a part of the team. On Astonishing X-Men with Joss Whedon, that's one of the only modern X-Men runs I've read, and he was really good as a member of the team. I think even in like the cartoon from the 90s, he was a really good part of the soup of characters that they had together.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's like in the Hugh Jackman movies. I don't know. He's
and then I also liked him. My favorite runs in Uncanny are usually the one where he's a side character and a really interesting story. So like the whole the Mutant Marauders storyline where there's a whole crew going around killing mutants that are hiding out in the sewers. Very, very Venom-esque storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Guys did. But there's mutants hiding out in the sewers because they would be rejected. And this group comes through and they're slaughtering them. And Wolverine has this great role sort of as the one who's just trying to put the violence to a stop. And it's a great small part because there's a lot of characters like Psylocke and Sabretooth getting great parts. And I like that storyline for him. All right, sorry, off track.
It's all right, good. There's very rough tracks here.
Yeah. So here I am, number 4 on my list. Let's see. Whoa. Magneto.
Oh,
has to be. And I know that there's a lot of love for the character as a character who's in the middle somewhere. But Magneto is just an iconic character, and I like him because he's one of those villains you can like. Uh-oh, Ryan's holding one up. What's that mean, Ryan?
That was my Marvel guy. That was the one guy.
Oh. No! So we have a shot coming later.
Well played. I had him right higher than number 4, for what that's worth.
I had mine as, he's my number 4. I like that Magneto is a character that you can sympathize with. You can agree with what he's doing. You might not agree with how he's doing it, but you can certainly understand where he's coming from and why he would feel a certain way. And of course, how do you go wrong with Ian McKellen in the films or Fassbender? They've really done a great job of portraying that character and all his gray areas.
That's actually the main theme that I noticed when I looked at the 5 villains. I had ultimately ended up with, I think, other than, well, even with the Governor, I think they're all kind of people with very heavy doses of gray who are trying to do the right thing, maybe not necessarily the right way, but they have kind of motivation.
Sorry, my dad's calling me.
Quiet,
sorry.
Quiet, Dad.
Dang you, Dad! You're interrupting my comics again.
Well, yeah. Now we talk about Magneto, so that's like a freebie for me. So
yeah. So I don't know where you had him on your list. Are we jumping the gun to discuss him?
Number 2 for me.
Oh man! So
yeah,
jumped to number 2.
I was trying to be a little nicer to Marvel because I usually am not.
I will say, that's funny that you did that because my number 2 is my DC guy.
Interesting. Who am I picking?
Yeah, so Magneto, I know that you're not a huge X-Men guy, but you do like some of the X-Men characters, so it's cool that you picked an X-Men villain that way.
Yeah, I think he's out of all the villains in Marvel, I had to pick one, and he's the one I think who I find the most compelling, and I enjoy reading about the most.
And that was the thing for me too. Like, I wanted to have characters who, when I see them on the cover of a comic, or somebody tells me, "Oh, there's a really great story with Magneto" or whatever, I tend to want to seek it out more. That's what this list is. They're the characters that I will be drawn to and I will want to grab. And that's kind of the fun of it. Mm-hmm. Dad disagrees with Magneto. Yeah, maybe my dad is calling I Love Signed Comics to tell me I'm a fool and that I think Magneto is a horrible decision, or he shouldn't be so low. He needs to be higher on the list.
That's probably why he was calling. Yeah.
Well, then, are we going to count that as your number 4 and then I go back to number 3?
Sure. Let's just say that was my number 4, just to make it easy.
This is very scientific, everybody.
I was wondering what was going to happen in this case. I think that's the only potential crossover we might have. I don't know.
Let's see. All right, so we're going to go to my number 3 then.
Do it.
Another Marvel.
The anticipation. Okay.
The Kingpin. I am a huge fan of Wilson Fisk. And obviously, most people know I'm a big Daredevil fan, and there is no better villain for Daredevil than the Kingpin. And this is the best cover I had of him. I really think this is pretty shoddy. He should be more dramatic than this. And I've got like Wilson Fisk crying is not really what you want as your great villain.
True.
But he doesn't appear on many of the comic covers that I have. He does seem to be in the background. He's in the background of a lot of stories, but he is not the guy at the front. Now, what I like about him is that he is a villain who can really get at the core of the hero and really try to break them down. Whether he's going after Spider-Man or whether he's going after Daredevil, I mean, that Born Again storyline where he really twists the knife in Matt Murdock is just so powerful. Kingpin is just somebody that that when I know he's in a storyline with Daredevil or Spider-Man, I'm far more apt to pick that up.
Excellent choice. I still need to read Born Again. That whole
yes, yes, you definitely do, and that might be a trade that I give you for the new year or something, just to get you to read it, because that's
exciting.
It is lights out, and I know you're generally a Frank Miller fan. You can enjoy some Frank Miller, and that's one of his highest points. Oh, is Aaron coming through? Sorry,
somebody. I got number 3 though. And
okay, let's hear Ryan's number 3.
I could not really find this character on a cover. A, because I was extremely rushed, and B, because I don't think this character exists on any covers, so I grabbed like the closest thing I could find, which is Doomsday Clock. I picked Ozymandias. He was number 4. I don't know. He fits into that whole like guy trying to do the right thing, but is an evil bastard at the same time that I was.
Speaking of an evil villain, puppet master in the background.
I didn't even notice until I looked at the thumbnail down there.
Oh man! By the way, Tom, I loved the copper video today. Great work. Or bronze. Sorry, it was bronze.
He left.
It was good. Let him know it was good.
Was there a new video out today? I haven't even watched it yet. I've been in the car.
It dropped like right before we went live. I was watching it right as it was a great list.
But no, I thought Ozymandias was pretty cool to include. I almost counted him as an indie character because for a minute I forgot Watchmen was a DC book. It's been so long since I've read it. But I think Ozymandias, I don't know. He doesn't get enough recognition. Although I'm not reading Doomsday Clock, so I really don't know. Maybe he's awesome in there.
No, I totally agree. He's an underrated character, and I can't believe I didn't even think of Watchmen as a great source for that, because that is a great story, and he is a fantastic sort of Machiavellian villain behind the scenes.
He's perfect.
I'm excited to see what is it. Who did they get? They got Jeremy Lyons. No, is it Jeremy Irons? Jeremy Irons is playing him in the new TV show.
They started. I didn't even know they were announcing casting for that yet.
Well, there's not a lot of actors that are playing the characters, because those characters are, it's supposed to be sort of like a side future kind of a thing. It's not really they're not telling the original story again. So it's a much older Ozymandias. And because obviously he survived that original trade, you get Jeremy Irons.
That's exciting. I did not know any of that. That is very exciting.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons Ozymandias. That's like high on my list of successful casting calls.
Yeah. Yes, that's gonna be fantastic. And it's Damon Lindelof, so I'm very much on board.
You and I definitely big fans. Although you haven't finished The Leftovers still, right?
No, and I also haven't met the guy, so I'm never gonna.
But you got some Leftovers to enjoy. You should definitely go and hit that because the last season of The Leftovers is phenomenal. All right, so we're at my DC guy, and I will say I was very excited when I put this list together and realized that I put him at number 2 because he would have liked that. Two-Face.
Number 2. Okay, I just got it. Okay.
I thought a long time about it. I mean, I've enjoyed Sinestro of late, and certainly if you go back to early Lex Luthor, obviously a great villain, and the Joker is an easy one to like. But I will definitely say I enjoy the tragic story of Two-Face more than any DC villain. I love the way he went from hero on the rise to tragic villain to this sort of crippled, paranoid, psychotic villain who just seems to know the best ways to draw out the drama between Robin and Batman. And of course, the different stories have him playing a different part in significance in the death of Robin's parents, but he always plays a significant role in the sort of early days of Robin being Dick Grayson being Robin. And the cover that I picked is from a story that I really love called Robin Year One. Really, really great. And I love the vision of Two-Face here. Reminds me a lot of the Two-Face in the animated series. And they used that character really beautifully in the animated series for those early Robin episodes when Dick Grayson realizes the role that Two-Face had in some of those early moments. And it's just really great. I just really love Two-Face, and watching Harvey Dent fall is powerful.
I'm not 100% current on Batman, as you know, but is he being used at all right now? Like, I don't feel like Two-Face has been in the mix for quite a while.
I don't think so. It's been a while since I've seen a really good Two-Face storyline.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the last thing I read that had Two-Face in it, and nothing's coming to mind. I did just read Batman Earth 1, the second one, and Two-Face, his origin is tied in pretty nicely in there. And those are really good kind of Ultimate style side universe. It's a whole thing. It's a good book though.
Comic Head says that my top 2 choices were a coin toss.
That's good. That's very clever.
NYC says there's so many villains and so little top 5 spots. I agree. I mean, you're going to leave people off no matter what. And there's obviously great villains that I love that I've left off this list. And but that's just the fun of it. That's the fun of it. You got to narrow it down. You got to pick your top 5. All right, so Ryan, you're at number.
In Detective Comics.
What's that?
Apparently, they're saying in the chat, Two-Face was just in Detective Comics.
I'll have to check. I know that Jeffrey Comic-Con has been reading the latest detective story and really liked it. So I'll have to jump in and check with him to see how it's going.
I need to do that.
All right, you're up, dude. Number 2.
This ties into what you were just saying about
new number 2.
Yes. And really, this guy actually is my number 2. I should have picked this guy as number 2. Because first, as you were just saying about not including certain popular, like you're not going to be able to pick everybody, the people who maybe belong on a top 5 list, like Joker. I was going to pick Joker for my number 2 spot. I didn't. I thought about it and crossed him off, and I went with Lex because nice. I don't know. I wanted to. Again, he fits in with that guy who's a villain, but not like I want to blow up the planet and kill everybody kind of villain. He's got this whole warped ideology about how Superman is actually bad for humanity and how relying on a magical sky man to save us when things are falling apart is actually in the long run a detriment. I don't know. I thought that was a really cool outlook to have, and he does get overused, I think, along with Kryptonite in Superman stories as kind of easy obstacles. But when you do Lex Luthor right, I think he's a very formidable kind of calculating sort of foe. He walks in the same circles as like Norman Osborn. I was considering putting him on here too.
Well, and that's what I thought of when you said it, because hasn't Norman Osborn been the president or the Secretary of State? Because Lex has been the president, and that's a really fascinating, the idea that you'd have a villain rise to that level of power
That's
and
so cool.
then get to play with the universe, those Marvel or DC characters in such a significant way. Because I want to say that Green Goblin or Osborn became the Secretary of State or president.
He takes over Nick Fury's job. You'll be coming up on that sometime soon. After, as long as you keep reading New Avengers, that comes into play later on.
I'm only halfway through the Civil War. I didn't realize how many tie-ins there were because I've only read the trade. I have the issues. I've never opened those up. I've always just read my trade. So I've never read any. And I didn't realize how many freaking tie-ins there were.
Some of them are better than others. I mean, I guess that's the same with every big event. But I had the Civil War hardcover and then like 4 hardcovers of the various tie-ins. I had like the Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men tie-ins, which on the whole I would say you could probably skip. But maybe that's just me. Wolverine was actually pretty cool, the Civil War Wolverine tie-ins, but I think the X-Men sat out, so they really didn't do much in general.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That might have been a win-win. Who knows?
Sure. I'm loving these tangents, though. These are good tangents.
I like that Comic Head. He's got some great observations. He said we both had bald businessmen represented on our list.
See? Exactly. Something about that.
That's phenomenal. Okay, so time for my number one. And I will say several people in the chat had guessed it, and Kate guessed it. She knew what my number one would be. And there's no way I could afford this guy's first appearance, much like most of these guys I can't afford. Maybe the adversary I can afford his first appearance, but that's about it.
It's gonna
of course, it's stuck on there. There it is. Dr. Doom, although it says Dr. Door right now. I'm sorry.
Equally terrifying.
Yeah, he's just as scary. Dr. Door. I got the pen here. I'm going to fix that so it won't be on there the whole time. There, that's better. Oh, that's not really a good M, but whatever.
I feel like Dr. Door would be better.
Yeah, give me a break. It's my left hand. Yes, Dr. Doom is absolutely my favorite villain. I grew up reading Secret Wars, and the storyline, he's such a boss in this storyline. The fact that they would, I mean, imagine all these heroes and villains get thrown together on a planet to brawl. That's the whole purpose. The winner gets, you know, I don't know, ultimate power or whatever. And having the cojones to just say, nah, I'm not interested in the fight. I want to kill the god. I want to kill the guy who brought us here. I want that power instead. That's basically the cojones on Doom. He's just like, yeah, that's what I want. I want the brass ring. I don't want they're fighting over the chump change. I don't want the chump change.
He's doing that exact same thing. You know, Tom and I are breaking down Infinity Gauntlet right now, and that's literally his mindset in there too. Like,
yeah,
I want that. Now you guys go do your thing. I'm gonna go steal that Infinity Gauntlet.
The ego on this guy, and he's not even named Ego.
Exactly. They got that guy taken care of.
So I am a definite Doom fan. I do think his arrival to a really great MCU version could be iconic and could really just be that element that really changes the MCU and pushes it in a real fun new direction where they don't just kill the villain each time, they actually like bring them back from time to time in a fun way. I would really be looking forward to a Doom in the long run.
I just hope they wouldn't Loki him or otherwise humanize him or make him sympathetic. I mean, they kind of made Thanos a little more sympathetic. He's still a badass, but I don't know. I think Doom is way too epic to make him too nice. I don't know.
And what I always liked about him in the Fantastic Four is that you'd have issues where there were clearly enemies going head to head, and then you'd have issues where Reed Richards is speaking up for him. And Reed Richards is like, we need this guy. He's the guy, because there was a mutual power respect between Reed and Victor that I thought was really powerful and could be used really well in an MCU form, when instead of just making him the big bad every time.
Yeah, he would be cool. Doom would be a low-key kind of hope for mine for Phase 4, but also Norman Osborn are great. Hey, Charlie.
There's Ryan too.
Hi, Ryan.
I bet Rainbow is running around over there somewhere.
He's not allowed in here.
Oh yeah, too many comics.
I wish.
Okay, so that was my list, but we need to hear Ryan's number one, and I think I can guess. And I was tempted to pick this DC villain, but my love for Two-Face just out. And again, I think it's funny. I think both of us skipped the Joker, which is a shocking omission.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my feeling on the Joker is that he is very hit or miss. There are stories when I think he's just amazing, and stories when I feel like he's just misused. And there's he's either the killing joke, or like in Hush, he's just really not utilized. He's just a random little side character.
Okay.
All right. So sorry, don't want to.
Tell me what you think it is, so I can say. Okay.
I heard that.
All right. So we have my guess going. They'll give a
Can I
thumbs
see
up
it?
if we think it's right. But Ryan, it's Ryan's turn to talk, so we're gonna be silent.
Oh, I
I
know.
don't think anybody is going to be surprised.
Oh, you were right.
You gotta
be
quiet.
That's my dude. This is the only comic book that I own with one of my favorite villains on the cover. I had plenty of options, but I went with Sinestro. I think he's kind of got like that ultimate gray area of him, and I think he might make your top 5 after Sinestro Corps War, because I don't know, he kind of turns a whole new leaf. And Jeff Johns, I think you could arguably even say that Sinestro becomes like the main character of Jeff Johns' kind of run on Green Lantern honestly through after New 52 starts, and he becomes a Green Lantern again for one reason or another that I can't even remember, honestly. But the idea of using the Green Lantern ring to kind of control and be a dictator on his home planet is just super fascinating to me. I don't know, using a force for good for something pretty bad.
And I would argue that in the DC universe, he is their Magneto. He's this guy who could easily be on either side of the line and has a strong point of view and is often sort of forcing the heroes to question their points of view.
Yes. Both of those characters, too, also have very... they're on both sides of that line frequently, from good and bad.
Yeah, and I mean, one of my favorite X-Men storylines is when Magneto leads the X-Men, and what that sort of creates, the drama that creates, is naturally very exciting. And I think in a lot of ways, Sinestro makes the same drama. Wingnet says, John, I was thinking the same thing. Okay, good. Jason P says his top 5 would have Kingpin, Mr. Freeze,
Ooh.
Dr. Octopus, Darkseid, and Two-Face. Joker is overused.
Agreed.
I think that's our feeling as well. I don't know.
I mean, he might make number 6 on my list. He would definitely be in my top 10. But
yeah, I would agree. He would definitely make my top 10.
He's in the number 1 spot too many times on too many other people's lists for me to waste a space with him here. I don't know.
And I know there's a lot of love for like Thanos out there, and I do think he's a great character. But for me, there's something about Doctor Doom and all these guys that I'm gravitated more to them. I'm drawn to their perspectives and their drama way more than anybody else.
They offer good, rich storytelling potential, more so than I think like Doomsday or like Sabretooth or the Abomination.
Well, I put Doomsday on the same shelf as Bane, as far as guys that like were of an era and represent a certain mentality, but don't really have much beyond that basic level of entertainment.
Like what's Bane done since breaking the bat? You know, he's probably done a lot, but I'm not familiar with any of it.
If he didn't appear in the New 52, Ryan doesn't know.
Then I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Ooh, Dr. Manhattan, is he a villain? Ooh.
I had
the hero who makes a hard choice at the end, but that's tough.
I imagine at least, I still haven't read Doomsday Clock, but he seems to be the villain of that storyline, so he'd be a good option. I think
they definitely make the point that Ryan made about Superman, which is the Lex Luthor tries to make about Superman, which is that a superpowered hero, all powerful and in charge, is dangerous. And I think that's the comment that there's definitely a comment in Watchmen the same way about that character. That he has a shocking amount of power and could be incredibly dangerous.
It's dangerous, but I also love about Lex Luthor how he's not so much concerned about the danger, but about like the overall long-term effects on the human race. About how we'll get soft and we won't innovate anymore or try to solve things on our own. How he's kind of looking out for the greater good in the very, very, very broad scope of things.
I see a lot of love being shown in the chat for Batman villains, Riddler and Freeze, and Spider-Man villains, Goblin and Mysterio. I mean, obviously these are those guys, Batman and Spider-Man, have an incredible rogues gallery between the two of them that is iconic. In fact, when I was looking for the JPEG to build the thumbnail for this video, I kept talking to Ryan that, like, on the Marvel side, I had trouble finding a good JPEG because it was either all the Spidey villains or all the X-Men villains. But to have the whole rogues gallery with Doom, you know, and some of these other characters mixed in it's tough.
I almost feel like Batman and Spider-Man have the best rogues galleries of their respective publishers.
Definitely.
Or at least the most iconic.
And I would argue some of the most ridiculous as well. I still think the Rhino makes almost no sense.
Yeah. Or like the kite guy in Batman.
Or what's the puppet guy? The Scarface.
Yeah. Although
that guy literally has a wooden puppet holding a tiny machine gun.
I'm instinctively drawn to a character named Scarface, as I think Carlito will understand. I can't knock on that guy.
Ooh, Hobgoblin is another one, and Venom is one of those. I've seen people throw out Venom. I think is one of those that's tough to nail down because obviously he's transitioned in a big way into this anti-hero, and Ryan did this great breakdown with Tom, looking at that transition and the story that really cemented him as an anti-hero. And I think so it's harder to look at him as a straight villain, but when he was a villain, there were some great storylines in there. And I know Ryan was thinking about going back on his MCU or his Marvel Unlimited to try to go like somewhere around issue. I would say if you started at 300, you'd be set, but somewhere in that 300 to 330 range, you'd get several great Larson and McFarlane Venom storylines.
I need to read a big solid chunk of ASM, and that's probably the best one, I would think.
And issue 300 is iconic, and it has beginning, middle, and end. You don't need the whole Venom backstory. It's in the issue, so you could actually just do issue 300 as almost like a start point, and then go forward.
Okay, excellent.
That's just it's just a thought.
Me too.
So, thanks everybody for hanging out. We're gonna run through our last little top 5. So just to do something totally different, I like shows where it's not just one thing. You get a little flavor of this and that, like a cooking show. And I wanted to do something where you ended with another top 5, something really quick and simple, where you don't have this big list, where I don't have to make anything, you don't have to dig in your short boxes, and it's not comic book related. So Ryan and I bounced around a lot of ideas. I tried to think of anything movie related because we are big movie buffs. But we settled on food. Uh-oh. Do you actually have the food there? Okay, for a second I thought you would actually make the burger.
I made a whole burger. That's what I was saying.
So our topic for our quick chat right here at the end is the top 5 things you put on a burger. And I'm saying we didn't discuss a whole lot in advance on this one.
No.
I'm going to skip all the basic condiments. I'm not doing mayo. I'm not doing mustard. I'm not doing ketchup. I'm going to consider that kind of stuff given. Those are options. I'm going beyond. I'm Star Trek Beyond on this one. So my number 5 and the best things to put on. Oh, everybody's talking Taco Tuesday. Sadly, I'm not going to do Taco Tuesday, although we did make tacos for dinner tonight.
Ooh.
My number 5 on a burger is grilled onions. The nice caramelized onions.
Okay. I don't want to steal any of your ideas, but maybe I'm just a basic burger boy.
Do it.
I don't have I'm stealing ideas from the chat because they threw out bacon, and I didn't even think of bacon.
Dude, I'll throw it out. That's my number 1. So
Okay.
I got my number 5 and my number 1. Bacon is number 1, and grilled onions is number 5. So you got to throw some in here before they get you.
What did he just say? Hold on. Jeffrey Comic-Con says I put tacos on my burgers.
Or TJ Watson does Thousand Island dressing and mozzarella cheese. That sounds exotic.
Very exotic. Does blue cheese count as a weird addition?
Yes, I count that as an addition because I pick you go blue cheese, I'm going pepper jack cheese. I love a great spicy jack cheese on a burger.
But that's not as like weird in my mind.
No, it's not. I
Pepper jack
agree.
is bomb, and I get that whenever possible. But like blue cheese, occasionally a little bit on a burger specifically, I'm okay with.
No, my wife loves a turkey burger with grilled onions and blue cheese and barbecue sauce. That's her jam.
Wow, what a crazy combo. I need to do something like that.
No, it's like a country western burger or something. The only thing it's missing is one of my other choices, which is onion rings.
Ooh, snazzy.
Dude, I
Just
love
eat
an onion ring burger. Those things are phenomenal.
Your breath must be awful all the time.
It is horrible.
Onions on onions on onions.
Yes.
Oh,
So for my burger, I've got grilled onions, I've got onion rings, I've got pepper jack cheese, bacon, and I got one left. But Ryan's got to throw some other ideas out there because I'm
I don't
saying.
even remember how many I've said right now. I think I've said 3.
I think so. So give us 2 more.
I haven't said an egg yet, but an egg on a burger is something I very recently tried, and that was way better than I thought it would be.
And I saw that come up in the chat. A few people throwing out eggs because you got to do. Yeah, it's just why not? I see Comic Head said fried egg, bold decision by Signed Comics. What did he pick? I don't see what Signed Comics picked. Did I miss something? Fried egg, onions, onion rings are dope. Yeah, there's my boy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, Kachung, pump the brakes, buddy. Beets, beets on a burger, or Big Will said ice cream.
So I'd rather do that. Yeah.
Oh man. Ooh, provolone and parmesan. I could do that.
Me too.
Ham, cheddar, and strawberry jam. Comics NYC. What happened? You derailed in the
for the
last
strawberry jam burgers.
All right, so my number 1, I'm a California guy. Avocado all the way.
I wouldn't put that at number 1, but that would also belong in my top 5.
So bacon was my number 1. Bacon was my number 1. So avocado would probably be number 2 or 3.
I don't even remember the things I've said. Oh, I spent too long worrying about where I could find 5 comics with these villains on them that I did not think of 5 burger toppings. This chat is so gross right now.
Right? They've definitely turned on us, but I love it. Like this cracks me up. This is what I wanted to do at the end, was have something that was so not comics that it actually just destroys the chat. Hey, we got 28. Ryan was joking that we would get past 30. I said we wouldn't get past 30. We are 2 away.
It's pretty close. I'll take it.
I know my chat. I know my numbers.
Yes, you do.
I definitely don't get a live stream above 30 unless it's comic book day.
Oh, I guess I was confused about which stream you meant. Does that one? Oh,
The live stream for Comic Book Day Book Club definitely gets over 30, but that's my only one. And I'm fine with that. My group, my crew that shows up every time, that's a loyal crew. And usually you're one of those in the chat doing the moderating for me.
I haven't had to use my moderator privileges yet, but I'm ready.
Kachung, you got to stop with the beets. We're not going to do it. Nobody in America is going to put beets on a burger. Keep it.
Never tried it, you know? Could be good.
You can give me a beet salad on the side, and I would probably eat that. But no beet on my burger. Keep it. Ooh, coleslaw. Bake the snake. That sounds like a, what is it? One of those pulled pork sandwiches with coleslaw. That's wicked.
Beats by Dre. I like that.
Ryan, you got to throw out one last thing. We're waiting on you.
Oh, we're waiting on me? I didn't even know that.
Last one.
Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. What do I? Oh, mushrooms. I didn't think about mushrooms.
Ooh.
It's really good.
Now, I'm allergic to mushrooms, but my wife would be all over that.
You're allergic to mushrooms and dogs.
Well, yeah, but most of my allergies aren't like the anaphylactic Pulp Fiction to the heart kind of thing. Most of my allergies are hay fever, where I look like I've got a cold or something.
So you can live with that. That's fine.
Yeah, my main one is actually chocolate, and yeah,
no.
That's a tough one. And there are definitely times when I've seen a dessert and said, "Worth it."
Worth the
I'm gonna sneeze all day tomorrow, and it's worth it.
Okay. I don't think I'm allergic to anything, so I have nothing to compare this to. I just
oh my gosh, the things on the list. People are saying flan.
Oh,
there's a lot of good sauces to put on burgers, but I kind of skipped that whole category because I didn't think it was really fair. I mean, yeah. I think I take sauce, the spread or whatever. I took it as a given.
That's a given, of course.
Yeah.
You're not just going to eat a drop.
I wanted to go like an actual substantive item that you would put on. Yeah,
Right.
Jason P, it's a tough one. And my students always know about it because there's there's very few gifts that are classically teacher gifts, and chocolate and mugs are like the two. Or apples, I guess.
Apples. Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
But I work with a lot of ladies and I live with a lot of ladies who like chocolate. So I always tell my students, if they give me chocolate, it's all good. I'm going to find a home for this.
It's going to a good home.
I know people who eat burgers dry. I can't do that. Yeah, Jeffrey, who are these people? You need to unfriend these people. These
My
are
brother
psychic.
gets just meat and cheese. He doesn't get any condiments, any vegetables, anything. Meat and cheese.
Who's this?
My brother.
Oh, Zach?
Yeah, he's a weird one. I love him.
What does he do?
He eats a burger with nothing on it. No, nothing. Just a burger with buns. No ketchup, no cheese, nothing.
Haha, you said buns.
I knew you'd get Ryan to laugh on something. The other day when you were running out of the room and you said, what was it? Lose a rotten egg. Second, whoever's last is a rotten egg. Ryan was like,
Oh, yeah.
that's
That's me too.
okay. You go to bed. I'll see you in a bit.
Okay. Maybe to tell the
Bye.
Goodbye, the
Chat.
26
people.
people in the chat.
All right. We went way longer than I wanted. An hour is a good long one.
Oh man,
Yeah. We're at an hour.
it is 7:30. Yep. Woo.
But thanks for everyone who stuck around. And if you're watching this on replay and you watch to the end, thank you so much. This is not a weekly episode kind of thing. It's just going to be whenever, if Ryan and I come up with another one we want to do, or if somebody submits an idea to us that they say, oh, we should do a top 5 of this, and we like it, then we'll do another one. We'll jump in on another day. It's not a regular kind of thing.
We should try something non-comics related, because every time you're on YouTube, I look behind you. That was the first reason I even talked to you in the first place, because your bookshelf. And
Yeah.
we got to incorporate something.
I think you and I spent like a good hour when I was driving to San Francisco just talking movies.
Yep.
Just texting back and forth.
right there.
So please keep an eye out for this show another time when we do another one. And hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Ryan's got his own YouTube channel. He's doing the video game Spider-Man. But we're going to start doing some of these. He's going to host one of these at some point.
Why
so
not?
we're going to get onto his channel here and get some fun things going there. Ooh, NYC just blew my mind. Top
too.
5 lost episodes.
I could almost do that right now.
Dude, it's so good. It's so
But
good. And I had a blog back in the day when Lost was running, and I did the day of the finale. I posted this whole breakdown where it was like the 5 worst episodes, the 5 best episodes. I went through that show ad nauseum. It was probably like 15 pages of text of the stuff I wrote. So yeah, I would definitely be able to pull that off.
I could probably
You like the Wakanda shirt? This is a gift from Ryan. I try to wear it whenever I have Ryan on my channel because he's just a bro, and it's obviously thanks to Zach as
It's
well.
from my brother.
Zach hooked that up.
my non-vegetable eating brother.
Thank you, Jason P, for finding the channel and for subbing up. It's awesome to have you. The season 2 premiere of Lost was an amazing episode. I agree. I don't remember if that made my top 5 though.
The finale
Okay.
makes my top 5.
The season 2 finale.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so we don't want to jump ahead of ourselves. We will do another one of these at some point. It's a lot of fun, and maybe the comic book side will be the ending. We'll do a quickie, comic 5 at the end.
yeah.
But definitely sub up and check in on Ryan, and he's always got great stuff too on Comic Tom's channel, which I'm sure you've seen him there and you've subbed all that. So make sure you check that out as well. Thank you for coming by. My next live stream is on Thursday night at 8 o'clock Pacific. We're doing the new Comic Book Day book club. Alec and I, we are hosting the book Middle West 2 with our amazing guest who will be in another room of the same house where Ryan is. We'll have Aaron from the Heat 101 team and maybe a cat or two possibly. And we will be chatting up Middle West 2. So make sure you come by at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. On an unusual day and time, but it's a one-off. We will not be doing this regularly.
Excellent.
And you read Middle West. I know you were a fan, so and I appreciate you handing the storyline off so that she could catch up.
Yeah, I was just at the shop getting the new comics ready for tomorrow, and I bagged and boarded a bunch of Middle Wests, and it's exciting. It's got the wizard guy on the front, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited to read it.
Is there only one cover for it, or is there 2?
I don't know if there's a variant or not. I think Russ only got the main cover.
I didn't see any variants when I looked, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thanks everybody for coming by, and I will see you all again soon on Thursday night.
Bye, everyone.